Hey everyone, welcome to day 9 of the Flex and Flow Yoga 10-day Beginners Yoga Challenge. It is incredible that you have made it this far, but we've still got 2 more classes, so let's get right to it. Today we're going to focus on our core. So we're going to go all the way around the torso and we're going to work every aspect of our core. We're going to get into the abdomen, the whole back body, and even the glutes. All right, when you're ready, let's get started. Join me on your mat. All right, come on down to your backs and we'll get started. Once you're down onto your back, let your soles of feet plant firmly on the earth and just let your spine be nice and long. Bring your hands down by your sides, let your palms face up. And just begin to receive your breath, inhaling in and out through your nose, filling your belly with air, and then contracting the belly in as you let the air release. Tuning in to your body, tuning into your core, feeling your torso on the mat. Maybe noticing how the belly expands with your inhales and how it contracts with the exhale. One more full breath here. And breath out. We'll do 5 dynamic bridges from here. Press through your feet. Inhale, reach your hips up. Lift your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, release your hips and your hands down. 4 more. Inhale, reach, lengthen the front side of your body. Engage your glutes. And exhale, release it down. Stay with your breath, keep lifting up, stretching the front body, and exhale brings you back down towards the mat. Last 2, lift the hips, really engage through the glutes, feel the front channel starting to stretch, and exhale, release. Last one, make it your best yet. Press through your feet, lift your hips a little bit higher, and then exhale, release it all back down towards the mat. Settle your spine back onto the mat. And then lift 1 foot at a time, shins parallel to the ceiling. Toes are flexed towards your shins. You can keep your head, neck, and shoulders on the mat, or I'll give you opportunities to lift. But first, we'll just drop our right heel and tap it, and then our left. So alternating heels, tapping them down. If this is feeling okay, start to lift your head, neck, and shoulders from the mat. And see if you can use your low belly to support you here. And we'll keep tapping. Starting to build some heat in our core. You're doing so great. You've got this. If you want a little bit more, consider taking both heels down at the same time and lifting, keeping head, neck, and shoulders lifted if you're staying there. We're breathing into it. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze your knees into your chest. Soften your head, neck, and shoulders back down to the mat. Little rocks and rolls from side to side, just lengthening out. And then we'll lengthen, or rock and roll lengthwise rather, all the way up to our boat pose Navasana. So arriving either with feet on the floor, sternum lifting, or shins parallel. So you're just at the top of the crack of your seat, holding your boat here. Very nice. Breathe into it. See if you can hold for another count of 3. Lift up through your heart for 2, 1. Hands behind hamstrings. This time we rock and roll to tabletop pose, all 4s. Hands under shoulders, hips over knees. Hug your low belly and lengthen your spine. And then walk your right foot back behind you. And then walk your left arm forward. You can stay here, or lift your left arm, lift your right leg, and then see if you can extend really far out. And then maybe point your right toes and take your left hand and right top of foot to the mat and lift. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. 1 more, big breath in, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. This time squeeze elbow into knee, and then inhale, expand. Release your hand and knee back to the mat and shake your hips out from side to side. Nice work. We're going to do that again on the left side. Neutralize the spine, breath in. Take your left leg back and take your right arm forward. Now you can stay here and work this core just from here, or if you'd like, point your left toes and begin to lift left leg and right arm at the same time, and exhale, release. Lift and lower. Twice more, we lift and lower. This time you lift, hold, and then maybe drag elbow into knee, rounding into the spine. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, release hand and knee to the mat and shake it out. Nice work. From here, we're going to tuck the toes. We're going to lift our hips to the sky. We'll find downward facing dog. Maybe becoming a very familiar pose at this point. So work your way into it. See if you can get the hips nice and high. Press the belly back towards your thighs and let the heels soften down towards your mat. Take a full breath into your spine. And as you breathe out, imagine the breath pressing your heels a little closer to the mat. On your in-breath, lift your heels to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees. Start to gaze forward and hop, step, or float to the top of your space. Inhale, find a halfway lift. And exhale, we fold. Press all the way to stand, rise up, big full breath in. And then as you exhale, sit down into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Bring your hands to your heart and continue to sink your hips until you land in your boat pose, Navasana. Either feet to the floor or shins lifting. Take a big breath in and a breath out. Stay here or inhale into low boat, pressing your heels down and away. And then up into your high boat, contract. Hands behind your hamstrings, rock and roll, and meet me in chair pose. Inhale, exhale, we fold. Halfway lift when you arrive. Plant your palms, soften your knees, step back to plank, and move from high to low. Back bend of your choice, upward facing or cobra, so strong. Downward facing dog we go. We're gonna go through that one more time. Nice work, everybody. On your inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, gaze forward, hop, step, float to the top of your space. Halfway lift, our hands travel up your shins. And exhale, empty out the lungs and fold. Rise all the way up to stand. Use your feet, press into them. And then exhale, sink your butt down. Feel your heart lifting chair. Bring your hands to the heart and come all the way down to your seat. Boat pose, feet can stay grounded or lift. Take a full breath in here. And a full breath out. Low boat or stay high, your choice. Maybe press your heels down and away. Feel like you're like a banana or a canoe shape. Take another breath. And then contract back into your high boat. Pop it up. Hands behind hamstrings, rock and roll. Maybe stick the landing or use your hands to travel to chair. Breath in, breath out, we fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Bend your knees, plant your palms, step it back. Plank pose. From high plank to your low plank to your belly or chaturanga. Upward facing or cobra, lengthen your front body. Exhale into the back body, downward facing dog. Such nice work. Take a deep breath in here. And stay for the breath out. On your next inhale, walk your left foot in a little bit towards your midline. Reach your right heel to the sky. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring right knee to your right tricep. Now, a little challenge. Can you lower your right knee to your right wrist? And then drive it back up towards your shoulder. Twice more, lower. And lift. Woo, hello obliques. Lower. And lift. You're doing great. Bring your knee into your nose and gently step it through. Lower your left knee down, low lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms reach up to the sky, inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands back behind your head, interlace your fingers, and elbows are out nice and wide. We're gonna turn our whole torso towards the right, and then come back through center. And then turn to the right, and come back through center. Start to feel the obliques, your torso starting to feel a little fire. Last 3. Inhale through center, 2. Last 1, come through center. All right, inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Bring your hands down to the mat. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and then walk your fingertips in front of your right foot. Come on to the right foot, get weightless on your left leg, supported warrior 3. Now point your left toes, we're gonna work the glutes a little here, and just start to pulse the leg gently, up and back behind you. Pulsing gently for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now flex your left toes, and I want you to bring your left foot in line with your right, and just let it hover. And then inhale, take it back into your supported 3, and then hover the left foot next to the right. Feeling that core turn on, take 2 more. Lift and hover, last one, take it up and back. Hover it here. Step the left foot down, forward fold, release. Nice job, halfway lift, breath in. Plant your palms, step back to your plank. High to low. Back bend of choice, upward dog or cobra. Downward facing we go. Stretch your hips up to the sky. Take a full deep inhale in your dog. Settle the breath, deep exhale. Walk your right foot in towards midline, lift your left leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. And then draw your left knee to your left tricep, nice and high. And now the challenge, bring it down to your left wrist, and then pull it back up high towards the shoulder. Twice more, take it down. Pull it high, once more, take it down. Lift a little higher, nice, and squeeze your knee into your nose, and gently step your left foot through. Lower your right knee, reach your arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Take a breath in. Breath out, hands come behind the head, interlace your fingers. Stretch the elbows open wide, inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. Stay with it, inhaling and exhaling to twist. Feeling the obliques starting to fire up, last 3. Maybe find a little more depth each round, last 2. You've got this. Big breath out as you twist into this last one. And then reach your arms to the sky. Nice work. Reframe your left foot with your hands. Tuck your right toes, lift the knee. Walk your fingers in front of your left toes and get weightless on your right leg. First, we're gonna point our right toes back behind us and find little pulses in the sky. Just warming up the right glute. Feeling that standing leg getting a little stronger. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Now flex your right toes and bring the foot down to hover right next to your left. Activate your low belly. Inhale, drive it back up. 3 more times, take it low. And then reach it back behind you. Twice more, see if you can keep it steady, keep your belly in. Last one, take it down, hold for a moment, and release the foot entirely. Let your belly melt over your thighs. Find a halfway lift, and then take it to your high to low plank. And we'll take a vinyasa, sliding through upward facing or cobra, shining your heart forward. Exhale into the back body, drive your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Such beautiful work, everyone. Take 3 breaths here. Two more breaths. One more full breath. On your next inhale, slide forward into high plank pose. And then exhale, bring your right forearm, then left forearm on the mat for forearm plank. Pick the tops of the thighs up, pick your belly up. Very nice, you've got this. We're holding here, we're breathing into it. Take another inhale. Exhale, just lower the pelvis, lower the tops of the feet, shine the heart forward. Take an in breath, and then return to forearm plank, tuck your toes. Lift your pelvis off the mat, begin to press the thighs up and away. Twice more, lower the pelvis, lower the feet, lift the heart. Tuck the toes, lift the pelvis, lift the knees, press up forearm. Last one, come down, untuck the toes, lift the heart, and find your forearm plank. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, lift the knees. Pausing here, feeling your belly firing up. You've got this. Holding here for 8, 7, this. Last 3, 2, 1. Walk your feet in towards your elbows and find dolphin pose. Press your heels down and away, belly towards the thighs. Taking 3 breaths here. 2 more breaths here. Last big inhale here. And then we'll walk onto our right palm and our left palm and find downward facing dog. Such nice work on your in-breath. Start to lift your heels, bend your knees, gaze forward, and hop, step, or float to the top of your space. We fold. Find a halfway lift length. And exhale, fold it back down towards your toes. All the way up to stand, we rise. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, sink into your seat, chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale here. Exhale, hands through your heart and melt all the way down to your seat. Nice work. We're returning to boat pose. From our boat pose, you can have feet grounded or shins lifted. This time, I'm going to invite you to point your toes forward and then maybe shift your knees just gently in front of your hips. Creates a little more challenge if your shins are lifted. And then you're going to alternate tapping the toes down towards the mat. Now, if your feet are grounded, you're going to lift up instead of come down from space. You've got this. Toe taps. Here we are. If you need more challenge, like I said, just move your knees out in front of your hips a little bit more and keep the sternum lifted. Now, if you'd like, you can start to bring both toes down at the same time, and we stay. We're moving through this. Woo, lighting up our core. We've got 8, 7. Stay with me. You've got to keep lifting through your heart. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold your boat. Flex the toes towards your face and come down into your low boat. You can rest the forearms here if you need. Pausing for 3, 2, 1. All the way down onto your back. Nice work. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. And then when you're ready, stack your knees over your hips, shins parallel. Take your hands by your hips and you can keep them here. And you can keep your torso on the mat just like this. If you would like, we'll start to alternate heels from here. If you want a little bit more, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and then tap the heels, alternating. Wherever you're going, just keep moving through it. Now, if you want even more, if you're feeling like you want that fire in your core, here's another layer you can add. You can bring your arms up and overhead. And then as your arms come down towards your hips, you'll tap the heels long out in front. So pick where you're going to be, alternating heel taps, double heel taps, head, neck, and shoulders lifted or not. Either way, I'm moving, so you're moving. Let's keep going. You've got this. Wherever you are for another 8. Feel that fire building in your belly. We've got this. We're still moving through it for 5, 4, that's it, 3, woo, last 2, and 1. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe separate the knees for a moment and take big circles with the hips. Just feeling into the body. So much hard work. All right, you guys, we have one more little push. We're gonna rock and roll lengthwise on our spine until we arrive in a plank pose. So once you're ready, you'll plant the palms, step your feet back into your plank, take an in-breath, and lower all the way down to the belly. Take your hands down by your sides and let your pinky fingers face the sky. And then plug your feet together, your heels closer together, and then lift up through your kneecaps, so engage your glutes. And then inhale, reach your heart forward and up, and then maybe pick your pinky fingers up towards the sky. Feeling this nice strengthener for our back body and our core. Take a breath in. And release all the way back down. You can rest your left ear to the mat and just pause for a moment. We're going to do that again with options to add on if you would like. Bring your forehead back through center. Pinky fingers face up. First, squeeze your tail together and then lift up through your heart. Stay here or with that nice tail behind you, maybe the feet lift. And we hold for 3. Holding for 2, strengthening through our back bodies for 1. Release right ear to the mat. 2 breaths. Let the feet release for a moment. 1 more breath. Last round, return your forehead through center. Same things as before, you can lift the heart. Maybe you take opposite elbows or clasp the palms and roll the shoulder blades together and down, and then we'll lift up through the heart. Squeeze our tail and maybe lift the feet. See if you can lift a little higher. We're here. We're staying with this, strengthening our back body for 5. Woo, you've got this for 4. 3, 2, 1. Left ear to the mat. Releasing softly. 2 big breaths. Nice work. When you feel ready, you're just going to roll over onto your back. Nothing fancy. You can press your way up and just transfer onto your back. Let your feet come to the mat. Bring the hands towards your sides. Take an inhale. And then squeeze your knees in towards your chest. Grab your shins or opposite elbows around them. Let your tail come down towards the mat as the knees soften in towards the chest. Just releasing some of that tension in your spine. Nice work, you guys. Beautiful job. And then if it feels good, take your hands to your shins and widen your knees away from one another. Maybe peace fingers to big toes or hands to outsides of feet for happy baby Balasananda. Lowering the sacrum and the torso all the way onto the mat as the knees widen, the hips open. Finding a little release here, just breathing into it. Take another inhale. And then exhale the knees back together. And then just find a little twist here. Bump your hips to the right. Exhale your knees over to the left. And maybe shift your gaze over to the right if your neck will allow. Keep it up towards the sky. Full deep breaths. Staying with it. Take an inhale to rock your knees back up through center. And exhale, bump your hips over to the left and let your knees fall gently down over to the right. Gaze to the ceiling or over your left arm. Find a variation that suits your practice here, this gentle supine twist as we wring out our spine. When you're ready, we'll roll our knees back up through center. And then just rock and roll gently towards a seat. Finding your way into a seat. Maybe closing the eyes down for a moment, just noticing that heat you just built in your body, that fire in your core. And just breathing into it. Maybe take your hands, one over heart, one over belly, or 2 palms meet at your heart center. And just feel your breath. Feel your energy in your body. Sending yourself gratitude for this incredible day 9. You guys did so awesome. Way to fire up your core and to stick with it. All right, I hope to see you on the mat tomorrow for day 10, our final day of the 10-day Flex and Flow Beginners Yoga Challenge. And if you haven't already done so, please pop over to www.flexandflow.org to see all the fun stuff that we have to offer. Plenty more yoga, plenty of fitness classes, plenty of tutorials to keep you going on your yoga journey. And if you haven't done so by now, please follow and subscribe to us on YouTube. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much.